Hello and welcome back. And I have come across a very interesting story. So I really would like to know your thoughts on this. So let's get straight into this. And we have an update that an exhibition of defaced currencies will include Prince Harry and Duchess Meghan's images on a banknote. So the article says an exhibition of money that has been defaced as, quote, cries of anger in the name of art, including £10 banknotes featuring the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, will open later this year. The Fitzwilliam Museum in Cambridge announced that Defaced Money Conflict protest will open in October. The exhibition, quote, presents a world history of from the last 250 years through currencies that have been mutilated as cries of anger, injustice, mockery, or despair, in quotes, the museum said. For the first time, it will showcase a new collection of defaced banknotes and coins, which have been acquired for the museum by curator Dr. Richard Kelleher. So, Prince Harry and Duchess Meghan appear in a 2019 work by Boo Warlow called Harry of England or 10 Megs, a reworking of Banksy's Defaced tenor, which featured Diana, Princess of Wales. In the work, Prince Harry replaces the Queen, while Meghan appears on the reverse with a message, "Trust no press," in quotes. Other pieces include a fake $20 bill with US slavery abolitionist Harriet Tubman on it, and a coin commemorating the Peterloo Massacre of 1819 when 15 people passed away at a protest meeting in Manchester as the working class fought for political representation. So the Fitzwilliam Museum said, quote, money is the perfect medium to highlight issues of wealth distribution, including the chasm between those at the top and at the bottom, and the effects on those living in poverty. He went on to say, money both as a physical and theoretical entity has been used by artists to draw attention to the links between government policy and the financial and banking systems. He said, in the pandemic age where the use of money is increasingly being replaced by digital methods of payment, and against the backdrop of the current cost of living crisis, times of inflation and spiraling costs and debt, the exhibition's themes in which currency has been and continues to be created and defaced remain urgently relevant. So isn't it interesting that they chose Prince Harry and Meghan to appear on those banknotes? And as I mentioned before, the exhibition is called Money Conflict Protest and will open in October. So yeah, it's interesting. They said that it's a world history of protest from the last 250 years through currencies. And you can see that they also put Harriet Tubman, that's someone of historical note. So it does speak to the influence of Prince Harry and Meghan. And you can imagine that what they have done with these £10 notes that they have created. This is, as they pointed out, a reworking of Banksy's Defaced tenor, which featured Diana, the Princess of Wales. So just a quick update on that for those of you who'd like to know. The fake £10 note was created by the artist Banksy, featuring the face of Princess Diana, and it was called the Defaced tenor, and it was donated to the British Museum, and it joined the museum's collection of some 70,000 other items of paper money. So the note donated by Banksy's agents joined other examples of spoof currency, a tradition that dates back about 200 years. So the first version of Banksy's Defaced tenor was produced in 2004 on a single sheet with 5 counterfeit £10 notes showing both sides, released as a single edition of 50, where Princess Diana's portrait had replaced Queen Elizabeth's, was first produced in 2004. It was released in 50 unsigned and 50 signed editions, as well as 32 artists' proofs. The notes were rumored to be a collection between Banksy and a street art associate named Defaced, but Defaced is a pun on the word defaced and refers to the fact that here Banksy altered the familiar £10 note by replacing the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II with that of Princess Diana. The piece can be seen as a comment on Diana's estrangement from the royal family, her critique of the British royal institution, and the hounding by the press that ensued. Instead of, quote, Bank of England, the note reads Banksy of England. Under the banner, an inscription reads, I promise to pay the bearer on demand the ultimate price, end quote, a reference to the fate of the princess at the hands of the media. The reverse side of the print remains mainly unchanged except for the motto, Trust no one, in quotes, written in the lower right corner. So at least 100,000 die-faced tenors were printed by Banksy in August 2004, in total £1 million in fake currency. Banksy created them for a public art stunt which involved dropping a suitcase full of the fake tenors into the crowd at Notting Hill Carnival and at the Reading Festival. Some of those notes as well were used by festival goers as actual currency. A suitcase as well with die-faced tenors was also on exhibition at Santa's Ghetto, a show held at Charing Cross Road in December 2004. Banksy also released an edition of 32 artist proofs in a single-tone color. The relatively low edition size of this work continues to drive a high demand from collectors today. So once again, compelling when you think about the fact that Prince Harry and Meghan were chosen. And you can see this is all in that same kind of vein of thought, as we can see that when Princess Diana was featured on one of these artistic notes, it was, as the article points out, a commentary on Diana's estrangement from the royal family and her critique of the institution and the hounding of the press that ensued. Not only after that, of course, we know that it went on long before, her official estrangement and on and on. So it's quite interesting as you see the parallel. Once again, yet again, another mirroring we see in the Duke and Duchess of Sussex being chosen to be featured on these special notes that will be featured in the exhibition. And looking at the £10 note with Prince Harry on it, you can also see Princess Diana right there on the note as well. And you can see it's written there, Harry of England. And I like the fact that you can see Prince Harry smiling, and on the back of the note, as I said, is Meghan as well. And it's quite an interesting parallel that when you think about the Diana or the die-faced tenor, she is there on the note alone, but you can see Prince Harry on one side and Meghan on the other side. I think it speaks quite well of the partnership between them, that there is no competition between them, that they balance one another out in comparison with what we saw with Princess Diana and Charles when they were married. She was the star. She was, the rock star. Everyone was so drawn to her, and it brought quite a lot of conflict in her marriage at the time. Not only that, her saying, that there were 3 people in her marriage and it was crowded. So it's interesting to see that, these artists put Prince Harry on one side and Meghan on the other side. I think it speaks to their partnership. And once again, it does speak Princess Diana quite prominent in the side of the note. It speaks to that. I think the parallel, once again, between what they've gone through, having stepped back from being senior working members of the royal family, the hounding of the press, and, I think, as we said before, we are hoping and praying that lessons are learned from what happened with the Princess of Wales. Because, as you say, when people watch all these things unfolding in the press and, consume and take it in like entertainment, I think there always needs to be that underlying thought that this is not some soap opera. It is people's lives. People have feelings. And, that must also be considered, especially now that they've announced that they will be back in Europe and going to London, going to Germany. People don't need to bring up gossip and idle talk. If they're there to, celebrate the charities, let's celebrate them. We can always, think back, just call back to when Princess Diana went to Angola with the landmines and people were there calling her, what was the word? They said that she was a loose cannon and it was something political, and it really hurt her at the time. I think a few of you have seen that clip, and you can see we've heard a lot of, hullabaloo in the press about Prince Harry and Meghan showing up with Well Child Award, and, their Twitter being totally lit up by hate. So you can imagine that, right? So let's hope people are learning from the lessons of the past, and where Prince Harry and Meghan speak out against some of these very strong forces of opposition in the media, that people can pay attention. So I think that's why, in my opinion, they're on the note. And I'd like to know your thoughts. Let me know why you think Prince Harry and Meghan are featured on this note alongside someone as prominent as Harriet Tubman in the collection that will be in the exhibition. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I would love to know your thoughts. Before we log off, a special thank you to those who support my channel, to my Patreon, PayPal, membership supporters. I would like to say a heartfelt thank you, giving a shout out right now to supporters of this channel. And I want to start off with a special thank you to a new channel member here on YouTube. Thank you to Ray Raquel. Thank you for choosing to become a member on YouTube. I appreciate you so much. And for giving in the lives, thank you so much. I would like to give a shout out once again to James Calvin Daniels. Thank you so much for your support for my channel, as well as to you, Joyce. Thank you so much for your support. I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. And thank you right now to Kristen Rowe. I love you, and I want to say thank you. And a special thank you right now to Magdalene Jano Baptiste. Thank you so much for your giving to my channel. It means so much. Once again, thank you. Thank you to all who like, comment, and share. Leave your thoughts below, and I will catch you in the next one. Have a blessed one.